This is Blackwood Family Media. Hamzamo familia, karibuni sana kwenye darasa letu la Kiswahili. I'm hoping that you're having a fantastic weekend so far, being on the 24th of January, the year 2021. I hope that everything is going on well for you and your family. I know that the weekends are normally a very, very busy time for most. People trying to get from point A to point B, other people just trying to get some time to relax away from everything else. But nonetheless, whatsoever that you might be up to this particular weekend and on being on a Sunday, I just want to welcome you so much to our Sunday Swahili class right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. My name is Spikes, and of course, every Saturday and Sunday we get to connect at around 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and I just get to learn Swahili together with the aim of just getting to be able to communicate and having an understanding and an apprehension of really, and also an appreciation of the beautiful African language known as Swahili. Swahili on the African continent has been very, very prolific over the last few years. And right now, as we speak, we do have over 150 million Swahili speakers on the continent, and it's still growing. And of course, even when you move from the eastern part of Africa, or where it's predominant, and go a little bit south, you shall still find some people also communicating in Swahili in the DRC, and also in other parts such as Rwanda and Zambia, and Zambia as well. Because Zambia borders Tanzania, and Tanzania has been known as the home of Swahili. And now, of course, everything is done in Swahili. Everything in Tanzania is done in Swahili. If you're going into an office and you're trying to communicate or requesting for something in this particular government office in Tanzania, you would normally do it in Swahili. And if you are even in a class trying to learn a little bit about some chemistry, or trying to learn some geography, you would actually do it in Swahili in Tanzania. And there has been a call by the Tanzanian president to members of the SADC, which is the Southern African Development Corporation, to embrace Swahili as well, to also introduce Swahili in their own countries and make sure that perhaps there is a memorandum where there would be some tutoring or some teaching of Swahili in their own countries, such as South Africa, such as Botswana, such as Namibia, such as Swaziland, such as Lesotho, among other different Southern African countries that have also shown some interest in getting to introduce Swahili into their own system. How is your weekend coming? I would just like to know how is your weekend coming along. Mine has been easy, not much highlights, but nonetheless, weekends are time to kick it back and rest. For some people, they do get the opportunity to go and travel, and I see, some places, for example, maybe a park or something like that. But for me, it was a rather much chilled. The weather was good. It has been raining a bit, but nonetheless, that does not hasn't deterred me from, of course, still enjoying my weekend. I would love to know how your weekend is coming up and what you have been up to, and of course, perhaps what you're looking forward to into this coming week from the 25th of January, the year 2020. The month has moved pretty fast for me. I think even for you, it also attests the fact that time flies, and even if we are heading almost to, we have 1 week left into the month, then it means that time is flying. And now, of course, at the start of the year, everyone makes their own resolutions. I hope that perhaps one of your resolutions really was to learn a new language, and this language maybe it might be Swahili. And if it does, then you are in the perfect place to learn a little bit of some Swahili. Yesterday, we did have a class, and we were talking about verbs in Swahili. We were learning a little bit of some Swahili grammar, and we were learning about the action words, which are the verbs. And even before then, the other week, we were learning about Swahili nouns, or we call them nomino. We can also call them majina. We did have a wonderful time learning that. If you have missed some of these classes, kindly feel free to go back to our Spreaker page. We are on Spreaker.com. Just search for the Swahili class on Black Hot Fire Network, and you'll find some of these previous classes, and you will be able to, just catch up with us if you have missed some of those classes. We also did have a big catalog of our videos, with the Swahili classes last year with our bigger channel, but it was, of course, struck, and you might not be able to find them on that particular one. But nonetheless, we are on Spreaker. And you can find most of those videos, the backups of those videos on Spreaker as well, if you just wanted to, familiarize or refresh, or just go back and see what we were about over that particular kind of period. Even as we proceed, or even before we start, I just want to make a quick reminder, just remind us that we shall be traveling, we shall be having the Black Hot Fire Network tour to Tanzania from the 12th of April, 2021 this year. We are looking forward to going back to Tanzania and just getting to explore and also discover the African Renaissance in that particular beautiful country in the East African region. Tanzania actually borders Uganda. It also borders Kenya. It also borders Zambia. It also borders Malawi. It also borders Mozambique. It also borders the DRC. Those are some of the countries very, very close to Tanzania. And we shall be taking a trip there, just getting to see the opportunities, what opportunities there are. Just getting to see a lay of the land, and just also getting to explore and learn a little bit of this beautiful country, and even maybe perhaps explore opportunities perhaps for investment, and even perhaps other opportunities right there in the beautiful country Tanzania. Last year we did our tour to Tanzania. We did go to Dar es Salaam, and also we had hoped, to go to Zanzibar as well. But we did not really get the opportunity because, COVID struck, and there was a closure of the borders. And therefore, we had to dash back, into, the respective countries. We did have some of the members of the Black Hot Fire family. We did have a sister Nisha Jiman, Kami as well. And it was, we were looking forward to going to Zanzibar. And this year, we are hoping that the opportunity is there. We shall be going back to Tanzania, and we shall also spend 1 week in Zanzibar. And if you would like to join us on the Black Hot Fire Network, if you would really, really love to join us on the Black Hot Fire Network to Tanzania, I want to welcome all of us, or invite all of us. And of course, we are making the arrangements. You can get all the information, of course, from Keith. If you would like to drop Keith an email, you are much welcome to do so. And you can actually find Keith. You can write him an email to kcnewsam15. kcnewsam15@gmail.com. Let me actually just share it. Let me just put it down. kcnewsam15. Let me put it down right here on the side. My computer froze for a second. I hope. Sorry about that. My computer froze for a second. Let me just put it down. If you would like to get the details on that particular tour, it's kcnewsam15@gmail.com. You can actually be able to just drop him an email if you would like to be part of that particular tour. Like you said, we want to welcome all of us, the Black Hot Fire family. You are much welcome. In case you have had the opportunity to travel to Tanzania, you can still go back with us. In case it's your first time going to Tanzania, I think it's even the better, because you shall be able to go and, connect to the family and go as a group, it's something different when you are with a group. It's always nice when you are with a group and traveling as a group, because you share different experiences together. Getting a lay of the land in Tanzania as opposed to going as an individual. Yeah, you can still go as an individual, just like a Sister Sharon Howard did. Sister Sharon Howard was in Tanzania, in Zanzibar, and she came on the Blackout Funny Talk, and she was sharing her experiences about her stay in Zanzibar, Tanzania. And like I said, if you have been there, you are still also welcome. But if it's your first place that you want to be going with us, then it would even be much more of a delight just getting to join us from the 12th of April, of course, for 2 weeks. 1 week in Dar es Salaam, and the other week we shall be in Zanzibar. And like I said, that is definitely a good look. It's not really so expensive. Like I said, Keith will be sharing with us, the schedule and also all the details regarding that particular trip, and we shall be communicating them to you. I believe from tomorrow, from Monday, from tomorrow, the 26th, the 25th, we shall be sharing with you all that particular information regarding the Tanzanian tour. Let me share these a little bit of these particular images. In case you're wondering what's good in Tanzania, there's so many things. I think you have some of the best beaches in Tanzania, and we also do have places such as the Mount Kilimanjaro. The Mount Kilimanjaro, of course, is a little bit far off, but nonetheless, there are also investment opportunities that Sister Sharon Howard was also sharing with us. And these particular opportunities, of course, include a place known as a Fumba Town. Fumba Town. Let me share with us a little bit over the website so you can see some of the places that I'm talking about. This is in Fumba Town, as Sister Sharon was sharing with us. And I believe it's also a great place maybe to also consider if at all you are looking for some places perhaps to get to invest. This is it. If you go to Fumba, Fumba.town, you will see that Zanzibar is awaiting for you. And of course, you will be asked, for example, on this particular website, they do have a want to invest, any rental offers, and you can also get to know more about the Fumba Town, and you can also speak to a consultant with this particular one. There's also a team, and at times you can also check all these things on that particular platform and get to know a little bit more on how you can live or also indulge yourself. For example, these are starting from 22,900 from 22,900. There is also, of course, a 99-year lease. You can also get, there are different offers on this particular platform, and I will be sharing with us also the link of the same. Sister Sharon Howard got to tell us a little bit about the same, and when we get there, perhaps we shall also get the opportunity to go and see what's good in Fumba Town. It's Fumba, Fumba Town. I do not know what Fumba means, but nonetheless, it's a wonderful place in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, and you can decide to make your own investment in that particular place. Maybe buy yourself a condo, or buy yourself a holiday home, or even buy yourself maybe some property to let in Fumba Town, Zanzibar. I want to welcome all of us once again to the show, to the class, the Swahili class. In Swahili, we normally do say karibu sana. Sister Nishpenda, thank you so much for joining us. You say Amani Farm, Amani to you too. We trust that you are doing well, and this particular Sunday finds you in good health. Before even get to start, to start our class for today, I actually happened to come across, the new developments, the new developments with what Trump is now, calling the idea of getting to start or set up a MAGA party. And it's crazy, when you think that things have gotten bad, then you realize, no, there is still some more extra mile to go. And right now, Trump is talking about, setting up another MAGA party. And he might say to hell with the Republican Party. And he's hoping that perhaps these might help him fight back, give him a fighting chance when it comes to fighting back all his, all his enemies, you might call them so. And it's crazy, the way things are going. You might have one party today, and then the next minute, the things have changed. But nonetheless, you shall still find Trump supporters subscribing to this idea of having a MAGA party, the MAGA party, the Make America Great Again party. And there's so many questions revolving around this particular one, the decision, and also who will be aboard, and how the party structure would look like, and who are some of the individuals that would, of course, be, with this particular party. And you said America is insane, is an insane sailor. That is the American dream. That is the American dream for you. Nonetheless, let's get into our class for today. Yesterday, we were discussing about the matters of the verbs, and also I was telling us that, there are some popular verbs that we get to mention on a day-to-day basis. And these particular verbs, of course, has to do perhaps with things like, eating, sleeping, walking, lying, talking, all things like that, even learning. And of course, I want, before we get a recap of yesterday's class, I want to share briefly some of the differences. There are some differences between English and Swahili. I believe I touched on the same yesterday, but some of the main differences between English and Swahili are outlined below. That Swahili has only 5 vowels, vowel sounds, in contrast to the 22 in English. And I was saying the 5 vowel sounds in Swahili is a, e, o, u. Let me repeat: a, e, o, u. Those are the 5 vowels in Swahili. And now, of course, we also do have the consonants. English has 24 consonants, and Swahili has 28 consonants. We talked about the additional special class of consonants, and the special class of consonants combines, two consonants to become one. For example, G and H. G and H becomes a special class of consonants. You also do have S and H becomes a special class of consonants. For example, in the word shughuli, shughuli or shughuli. And of course, we also do have the special class of consonants T and H. T and H, for example, in the word dhahabu or even in the word theluji. I shared those particular examples yesterday. And we also do have the NG with an apostrophe. For example, with the word ngombe, ngombe. Ngombe has the NG with an apostrophe. That is also another special class of consonant in Swahili, among a few others that we might be illustrating even as we move about, even as we proceed with our Swahili class. There's also another difference to note, that Swahili speech alternates vowels with consonants, and contains basically no consonant clusters. What this means is that you will not find consonants clustered together. For example, a GH followed by DH, a DH followed by a DH, or a DH followed by a TH. What you can find is a GH, a consonant, followed by a vowel. For example, GHO, with the word gorofa. Gorofa means a story building, and therefore you can only alternate. There's only, the Swahili speech alternates vowels with consonants. And I gave that particular example yesterday when I was talking about a book in Swahili is translated into kitabu, kitabu, where we do have a K, which is a consonant, alternated with a vowel I, E, that is a key, and then you do have TA, which is ta, and then BU, which is bu, kitabu. And you find that in Swahili, the speech alternates vowels and consonants, and you will not find any Swahili word that has a cluster of consonants, just connected. For example, DH and then W, you will not find that, or DH and then T. You will not find, a cluster of consonants. And also in Swahili, all utterances and syllables end with a vowel sound. All utterances and syllables end with a vowel sound. For example, the syllable in the word kitabu, kitabu, that is a vowel sound boom, which has the consonant B and the vowel U to make the syllable boom, boom, kitabu, kitabu. I believe you remember me sharing that with us yesterday. In case you missed the class, kindly feel free to check the video also from yesterday's class. And also another thing is that we do have the 2 languages, Swahili and English. They do have very different systems of word stress. They are very, very different in terms of the word stress. For example, the intonation and the diction changes from Swahili into English. And of course, in Swahili, the typical intonation pattern is a low fall, which is carried over into English, even where English uses a rise. Therefore, it is not always clear if the speaker is asking a question in English. But in Swahili, you will realize that in Swahili, there is a raise of a tone at the end of the asking of a question. For example, if I was to ask a simple Swahili question, Je, umeshinda salama? Je, umeshinda salama? Je, umeshinda salama? There will be that particular intonation change. If someone's asked Je, umeshinda salama, then you would actually realize that there is that particular kind of a word stress at the end of that particular question, which is really asked in simplicity. And you can respond and say nimeshinda salama kabisa. Nimeshinda salama kabisa, which means I have had a very, very good day. And of course, that is how things are. Landa Winter, thank you so much for joining us. I don't know what you feel about you. I don't know what General Mosquito also feels about the introduction of a new MAGA party. I think General Mosquito might also perhaps ascribe to these MAGA party, which is the crazy the crazy matters of the day. But nonetheless, I was saying that in Swahili there is some distinction between English and Swahili, and like I said, you should not have cluster consonant clusters. You will not have a word that has, for example, K followed by a T, K followed by a T, by then followed by a B, and or a B or a V or anything like that. You cannot have any word in Swahili that has a cluster consonant. You would only have ki, da, bu, which of course mixes or alternates. It alternates the vowel and the consonant. It alternates the vowel and the consonant, and that is how things really are with Swahili. And I also talked about the differences in terms of the intonation or how these particular words get, there's the change of the tone, the high and the low. General Mosquito is saying it's a hujambo. It's hujambo. I don't know what holo is, brother General Mosquito. It's hujambo and Ndugu Spikes, and then I respond and say sijambo. If someone just says hujambo, I'll just respond and just say sijambo. And I hope that everything is well for you in the UK. I hope that you are doing fantastic, and sijambo is really just a reply, just to get refreshers. Just a reply of just a reply. It's just a reply. And of course, if you send hello to a group of people, you would normally say hamjambo, hamjambo, hamjambo. Then they would respond and say hatujambo, hatujambo. And of course, yesterday we were learning about the verbs, and I say those are action words, and we learned about a few of them. I just want to refresh our memory. I talked about the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. For example, kula. Kula, K-U-L-A, K-U-L-A is simply to eat. And if you say in eat food, which is a phrase, you simply say kula chakula. Kula chakula is for eating food, is eat food, and is a phrase. And then if you want to go further and describe how you would say eat sweet food, eat some sweet food, you would say kula chakula kitamu. Kula chakula kitamu, chakula kitamu, which is eat some sweet food, eat some sweet delicacy or some sweet food. And I was reminding us that in case you wanted to request for something, perhaps you wanted to request for something, you wanted to request for some food, you would normally say ninataka, ninataka, ninataka. I think you remember this one, ninataka, ninataka. Which is equal to I want, and sounds like Nina plus Taka. It sounds almost Nina. It sounds like Nina plus Taka if you ask me. But that is how you would actually say it. Ninataka chakula, ninataka chakula is simply I want some food. And even if you want to say I want some water, ninataka maji is I want, ninataka chakula is chakula is I want some food, I want some food. And now of course if you wanted some water, you would say ninataka maji, which is I want some water, I want water, or I want some water. And that is how you would simply just say it. For example, you just found yourself, maybe it's a very, very hot day, and perhaps you want to request for some water. And maybe it's a hot day, wherever you might be at. You might be, in some place, and the communication is in Swahili. You would say ningependa. Ningependa is a more polite way to ask for something, ningependa. Before even we talk about ningependa, penda really means to like. Penda means is equals to like, all to love, to like, all to love. And therefore, if you say I would like some water, I would like some water. Therefore, you would say ningependa maji, ningependa unipe maji. Kidogo is just an adjective, which is I want little water, a little bit, little water. Maji is simply water. We learned that yesterday. I think if you remember correctly, even when we were learning about the nouns, we say that Maji is simply water, and we were saying also yesterday that if you're talking about milk, it's maziwa. Milk is maziwa. If you say ninataka maziwa, ninataka maziwa, it's simply I want some milk. And those are some of the things that you would actually say. If you wanted to request for something, you say ningependa chakula kidogo. That would be I would like some food. I would little food. Then you would actually just translate it into ningependa chakula kidogo. And of course, if someone's affords you that particular kind of a request, then you just tell them shukran, which is, I think everyone knows of shukran, which simply means thank you, or you can also say asante. Asante also refers to the same thing. Asante, all asante, both of them are actually correct, and they also means thanks. They also mean thanks. Now, today, as we proceed, we shall be learning a little bit about adjectives and other things like pronouns. But before then, I also wanted to highlight, about something that we mentioned sometimes back. We said that in Swahili we do have nouns, and we call them nouns. We call them nomino. Nouns. We call them nomino. Nomino. Of course, a noun is the name of a thing, a place, an idea, and all these other things. And of course, we also call them jina. Jina is a name. Jina is simply a name. And if someone asks you, jina lako ni nani? Jina lako. Yes, you say asante sana. Asante sana. Sana is for stressing. Sana is really for stressing, which is a lot. A lot, or very. It's just used to say a lot or very. And if general skill also says karibu sana. Karibu is simply welcome. Karibu is simply welcome. But if someone wants to emphasize and say you are much welcome, you simply do say karibu sana. Karibu sana, which is much welcome, much or very welcome. And those are some of the ways you stress. And of course, thank you so much to all of us that have joined our Sunday Swahili class. I was saying earlier that Sundays are normally a busy time. But of course, you have gotten a minute or two to just join us with our Swahili class. And in case you do have any questions, so far, you get to learn by asking questions. In case you do have any question, kindly feel free to just drop it on the comment box. You can also email me blackhotfireafrica@gmail.com, blackhotfireafrica@gmail.com, and I would be delighted to just get to respond to your question in regard to some of the things that you have learned either today or even yesterday, or even things to do, with other matters that we do get to discuss even on the 54 Corresponding Show, or the Africa Today Show, or the Express Show. All these are the shows on the Black Hot Fire Network, which you will see that when you land at the airport in Dar es Salaam. I think I missed the comment earlier on. I think get a comment earlier on. Assistant didn't get what you're talking about. I think maybe something I mentioned or something that General was mentioned earlier. But I am eager. I'm still eager to go back into Tanzania. I said we not have the opportunity to go to Zanzibar, and I'm looking forward to going to Zanzibar the second week of. We shall be in Tanzania from the 12th of April, and then from the 12th to the 19th we shall be in Dar es Salaam, and then the other week we shall be in Zanzibar, I believe, from the 20th to around the 27th, and that would be a wonderful look. In case you would like to join us, you are much welcome. Once again, I want to extend the invitation. In case you would like to join us, I want to extend the invitation to you. And like I said, you can just drop an email. They have a big sign saying Karibu Sana. Yes. Okay. Yes, they do. I believe even, even when you live in a big city, even if you are in, for example, Nairobi, not Nairobi, but in Kenya, and perhaps you are living in a big city, or maybe you're living in one county, getting to another county. We do have 47 counties in Kenya. And then you will see the big sign, it's the signboard that's saying Kwaheri. If you live in one country and get into another country, they will say Kwaheri. And then on the side, you will actually say Karibu Sana. Those are two things you would actually you would actually see. Brother Shepo, I hope that you are doing well. Brother Shepo, Semono, you're saying I'm catching some of these. You will eventually catch up. And of course, if you have missed some of the classes, kindly feel free to check out some of the classes on our Spreaker. Spreaker.com, and then just find a Black Horse Fire. You will find the Swahili classes are right there. And I was talking about Kwaheri. Kwaheri is simply, how you say goodbye. And if you live in one particular place, it'll actually just tell you goodbye, goodbye, and then you might get into another place. Nonetheless, I was going back and mentioning about some of the things that we learned yesterday, and I was saying that we were talking about some of the verbs that we mentioned on a day-to-day basis, like like going, like living. Living, I said it's ondoka. Live, it's ondoka. Ondoka. And come, if someone will tell you come, it's really come is really kuja. If someone is actually employing you to just come, just come, step forward, step forward, or just come here. If someone says come here, you would actually, he or she would actually say kuja hapa, kuja hapa. And if it's actually a command, if it was actually a command, and they will be like, come here right now, just come here ASAP, there would be kuja hapa sasa. Sasa. But nonetheless, we also learned something important yesterday about saying yes and no. If you also learned about something yes and no, damn, a man quit eating crab at gate. I don't know where Kid is at. I think he's having the chicken. I hope he's not having the chicken. I hope he's not having the chicken. Good afternoon, family. I was sick last night. I was running up and shift myself from some Domino's delivery. That's what my ass get down. Yeah, you should quit. Just like our sister Nishi is saying, just quit eating the crap. It will actually, it has all these impacts. It might even, it's dangerous. I was talking about some of the things that we learned yesterday, and I was saying that you can say yes or no, and I said that yes is actually ndio. Yes is actually ndio. Is it goodbye? Is there a bad bye? Don't make sense. No, there isn't a bad bye. Probably in the UK, we not have that. In Tanzania and Africa, probably where you are today, they might have a bad bye. Yes is normally ndio. Yes is normally ndio. For example, if someone says J, utakula chungwa, J-E, then with a comma, utakula chungwa. It's simply asking, will you eat? Chungwa is an orange. Will you eat an orange? Will you eat an orange? Chungwa simply means an orange. And if someone is asking you, Je, utakula chungwa? I simply asking you, will you eat an orange? And then you would respond and say, ndio, asanti. Ndio, asanti. Ndio is yes. Ndio, asanti. Then will be a yes. Then that would be the way you would actually say it. Ndio, asanti. Ndio, asanti is how you would actually just say it. Will you eat an orange? Then you would actually say ndio, asanti, which is yes. Thanks. Yes, thanks. If someone was asking you, so they have Domino's in Kenya. Yes, they do. They do have Domino's in Kenya. They also do have a Subway. They also do have KFC. But those things they do sell things. They're things pricey, and it's seen as a lifestyle restaurant. It seems as a lifestyle. The KFC it seems as a lifestyle restaurant for people with money, or as they are eating crap. Anyway, if someone asks you, will you have some tea? Will you have some tea? Je, utakunywa chai? Je, utakunywa chai? Chai said is a tea. Je, utakunywa chai, which is will you drink tea? Will you drink tea? Will you drink tea? And perhaps your answer is in the negative. If your answer is in the negative, then you would actually just tell them no. You would actually just tell them no thanks, no thanks. You say hapana. You say hapana. Hapana is for no. You can also say hapana. Hapana is for no, but you can also say hapana, which is still no. And you can tell them, Kid, this isn't the time to be messing with delivery food from Mzungu, my brother. Yes, I agree with you. Orlando Winter. I think Kid, you should actually just look into options of getting to make your own meals, because right now as it is, things might be crazy. And I agree with Orlando Winter. If you're saying no, and you're turning your head like this, no, you just say hapana. Asante. You can say no thanks. No thanks. There would be hapana. Hapana. Asante. Asante. Hapana. Asante, which is no thanks. If someone asks you, Jay, utakula chakula? Jay, utakula chakula? If someone, that is simply someone asking you, will you have some food? Will you have some food? Or if someone might ask you, Jay, utakunywa chai? Kunywa, yesterday we talked about the verb itself. Kunywa. Kunywa is simply to drink. Kunywa is simply to drink. You might say kunywa soda. We do not have a word for soda. It's just soda. Kunywa soda. Kunywa soda is really just drink soda. Drink soda. Like we said earlier, if it's drinking milk, you would actually say kunywa maziwa. Kunywa maziwa. Kunywa maziwa. Kunywa maziwa, which is a drink milk. Drink milk. If it's eating, we talked about eating yesterday, and it's actually kula. Kula. If you're saying about eating bread, kula mkate. Kula mkate is really just eat bread. Eat bread. If you're talking about drinking and you're drinking porridge, in Swahili we call porridge uji. Porridge is actually uji. Porridge is actually uji, and therefore you would actually just say kunywa uji, kunywa, and then you add whatever that you're adding right there on at the end of it. But nonetheless, let me also remind us that in Swahili we do have 9 noun classes. 9 noun classes. Some people have actually called them, more, but in Swahili we do have 9 noun classes. And the most popular class of noun is the noun that has to do, it doesn't, there's vegan pizza, but I make sure I use a white name I can think of. Let me check new. Man, you love to give, Eric's. What was I saying? I was thinking about the 9 noun classes, and I was saying that the most popular noun class is the wa noun class. We have learned about these things, I believe, if you still remember. The wa is the first class of noun, and the wa simply constitutes all the words in Swahili that do start with the letter M, or the consonant M, and these mainly constitute of people, people and people. For example, you might have mkulima. Mkulima is a word which means a farmer. Mkulima is a word which means a farmer, And you might also have mwalimu. Mwalimu, it starts with the M. Mwalimu, mwalimu. And then we also do have another word, for example, mtoto. Mtoto, it means, mwalimu means a teacher, mtoto means a baby. Mtoto means a baby. And all these words, like you have seen, they do start with the letter M, or the consonant M. And therefore, that is why they are in the wa class of noun, wa class of noun. That is in their singular form. But in their plural form, if you convert these into the plural form, if you're talking about one farmer, then in the plural form, we do have many farmers, farmers. You're talking about one teacher, then when you convert it to the plural, it becomes the teachers. You're talking about one child, which is mtoto. When you convert it to the plural, it becomes watoto. And therefore, for example, watoto, you will realize watoto starts with the WM. Walimu also, walimu also starts with the WM. We also do have watoto. Watoto also, I give that example. Wakulima also starts with the WA, and therefore all these particular names, you do find that in their plural, in their singular, they start with the letter M, but in their plural, they do start with the WA, and therefore that is why with this particular noun class is known as the wa class of noun. Wa class of noun. We do have the key V class of noun, and of course you guessed it right. The key V, of course, constitutes the second class, which is known as Angeli Anomino, the second Angeli Anomino, and this constitutes all the words that do start with the key syllable in their singular. For example, kijiko, which means a spoon. We talked about this yesterday. Kijiko simply means a spoon. And in its plural form, we say vijiko, which is really spoons. And therefore, that would fall in the key V class of noun, If you're thinking about a mirror, for example, a mirror, a mirror is called kio, which is a mirror. And if you're talking about many mirrors, if you're talking about mirrors, then it would actually be VO, which is mirrors, and therefore you would actually start the VI in its plural, and therefore it falls in the key V class of noun, the key V class of noun. We do have other different classes of noun, for example, the GMA. Yesterday, I believe, or the day before, we talked about the parts of the body. I don't know if you recall, but we talked about parts of the body, and we said that the eye is known as jicho. The eye is known as a jicho. And if you're talking about both of them, the plural, then this becomes macho. And therefore, this word jicho falls in the G-ma class of noun, because in its singular form, it starts the J-I, and then in its plural form, it starts with the M-A, and therefore it becomes G-ma class of noun, the G-ma class of noun. I hope that you're still following, and I hope that you are still with us. And like you said, kama uko na swali, swali is a question. Kama uko na swali, if you have a question, kindly feel free to ask. And remember, I always keep on a challenges, just to have friends or colleagues or even people that you can actually learn Swahili with. It's difficult, very, very much difficult to be able to learn Swahili on your own self. It's very, very difficult. And of course, we are hoping that if you do have friends or colleagues that you can learn with, then it makes the process much, much easier. And of course, like I said, there are also different. There are also other different tools that you can use. There are different tools that you can use. For example, the Duolingo app. We talked about this yesterday. The Duolingo app, in case you want to learn a little bit more of the Swahili, you can use. Is there the word for the first eye spikes? No, there isn't. Maybe you would actually just say jicho la kwanza, because kwanza is a first. Kwanza or mwanzo is a first, and therefore you'd actually maybe perhaps say jicho la kwanza, but it's not really a phrase like that. But you can make it. I remember sometimes last year, someone was asking if there's a name for Bedouins in Swahili, and in Swahili we call the word, we normally say bed to be kitanda, but you can never say kitanda wensi. It's just it's not a name for Bedouins. But nonetheless, I was also reminding us really that there are different tools that you can use to learn Swahili, and one of these particular tools include the Duolingo app and also the Lonely Planet Swahili Guide Facebook, the Lonely Planet Swahili Facebook. You can also get yourself a copy of the booklet that I put together, just putting together the notes of this Swahili class that we do conduct right here on the Blackout Fire. And in case you want to get it for $8, you can buy it and support on that particular Lulu.com platform. It goes for $8. Nonetheless, just taking a bit of a diversion. As it is right now, there has been the issue of the relief packets, and as it is, of course, our Congress is now waiting to act on the proposed 1.9 trillion COVID relief plan by President Biden, signed 2 executive orders Friday meant to provide stopgaps to Americans suffering from economic hardships due to the pandemic. And I was saying, I don't believe the people of this country just want to stand by and watch their friends, neighbors, co-workers, fellow Americans go hungry, lose their homes, lose their sense of dignity and hope and respect. And of course, he was talking from the White House, regarding this particular relief package. I do not know how long this particular one will wait. I do not know how long this particular one might take to be processed, but nonetheless, things are crazy. I understand that situations are dire as it is. And America being seen as a superpower, which is not, being giving checks for 600, that's really also an embarrassment on the side of the government, which of course criticizes all other different governments for the purposes of for the issue of the response towards the COVID-19. But nonetheless, going back into the main matter, I want to talk about briefly the matters of the pronouns. Now that I highlighted briefly about the nouns, I wanted to highlight on the matter of the pronouns. But before I get into the pronouns, let me also just remind us of the parts of the body. Before I get into the pronouns, let me just remind us about the parts of the body. I say, starting from your hair, you would normally say nywele. Nywele. Nywele is for your hair. Nywele. Nywele yangu. If you say nywele yangu, it means my hair. Nywele. Nywele, it simply means hair. Means hair. And if you say my hair, you would actually say nywele yangu. Nywele yangu, which is my hair. And if you want to say my good hair, or my good hair, you'd actually say nywele yangu. Nywele yangu nzuri. Nzuri, yesterday we of course learned that nzuri means good, which is my good hair. My good hair. And also, we also do have your head. The head itself is a kichwa. The head itself is a kichwa. And of course, we do have, we don't have a synonyms for that. It's just kichwa. Kichwa is really for your head. Kichwa is really for the head. And if you're talking about my head, you would actually just say kichwa changu. Kichwa changu really would be my head. If you're talking about your eyes, I said your eyes is a jicho, and if you're talking about both of them, they become macho. For the nose, for the nose, you would actually just say pua, P-U-A. It sounds like pua. The opposite of rich would be just your nose. And for your nose, it's say pua langu, P-U-A, pua langu means my nose. From your nose, you can also talk about your mouth. The mouth simply is mdomo. And therefore, you're talking about my mouth, you would say mdomo wangu, which is my mouth. And of course, talking about the mouth, if you told, funga mdomo, if you told someone shut your mouth, someone orders you to shut your mouth, would be just a funga mdomo, would be some sort of a command, which is a shut your mouth, the phrase shut your mouth. And if you're talking about opening your mouth to speak, you're in front of a crowd, you're opening your mouth to speak, that will be fungua mdomo, which is fungua mdomo, which is open your mouth to speak, open your mouth to speak. And also, if in case you are also talking about opening the act of, open is also a verb. You should have learned yesterday. Open really is fungua. You can also say open the door is really, for example, fungua mlango. I was saying yesterday that in case someone came to visit you and they knocked on your door, the thing you would do is fungua mlango. The thing is you would open your door. And when you open the door, you'd actually tell them karibu. Of course, after saying hello to them, you'll actually say hujambo, and then they respond and say sijambo. They might respond and say sijambo dada if it's a sister opening for them, or they would respond and say sijambo kaka if it's a brother opening for them, or they can respond and say sijambo mama if it's an elderly mom opening for them. But the mom or the elderly woman opening the door for them would actually also say karibu ndani, karibu ingia ndani. Karibu is welcome, karibu. Then ingia ndani would be welcome. Get inside, or enter. Get inside or enter, yes, get inside. That would be karibu ingia ndani. After you have opened the door, and I said opening the door is really just fungua mlango, and that is how you actually just say it. Of course, once they tell you karibu ndani, then you just walk inside and then say asanti dada. If it's a lady, you say asanti dada. If it's a brother, asanti ndugu. If it's a mother, you'd actually say asanti mama, asanti sana mama, and that would be a simple way to just be polite and courteous. And there is also, of course, some of the common courtesy words I always keep on reminding us. Apart from karibu is welcome, but you can also say tafadhali. In case you want to ask for something in Swahili, for example, some food, or for example, some water, or maybe a soda, or maybe a fruit like a banana, or maybe something else, you would actually use the word please. Please, I would like some this and that. Please, I would like some water. If you're saying please, I would like some water. If you're saying please, I would like some water, or I would like some water, please. I would like some water. That would be tafadhali. Tafadhali is for please. Tafadhali. Ningependa. Ningependa is I would like. Ningependa maji kidogo. That would be I would like some water. I would like some water. And that is how simply you would say it. It's not difficult. It's not really complicated. And I always keep on saying that compared to other languages, compared to any other language that you might come to encounter, Swahili is one of the simplest languages that you will ever get to, interact with. And I always keep on saying, being the fact that all the words do end with a syllable and the vowel sound, this also gives it a wonderful rhythm to it. And that is why I do also get to enjoy Swahili, speaking Swahili, and also getting to interact with the Swahili speakers. It's really, really wonderful because it's just a beautiful language, and you cannot compare it to all these other different languages that Zenon was talking about yesterday. Some of these Arabic languages and other things like that, they are crazy, but Bantu languages are really, really beautiful. If you go, for example, into South Africa and connect with the Bantu communities in South Africa, we will also love their own different languages. If you go to West Africa, you'll also find the Bantu. If you go to East Africa, wherever you might go on the continent of Africa and interact with the Bantu people, you will absolutely get to enjoy and love the way they communicate, the way they talk. It's really, really wonderful. And like I said, I also want to remind us that in Tanzania, it would be a good thing if you are able to speak in a little bit of Swahili. It will really, really be wonderful because you will be able to connect with you will be able to connect with the family there in Tanzania simply by being able to communicate in their own language, and that is able to connect us even at a much better level. Understand is also able to connect us even at a much better level. Nonetheless, I want to go into the pronouns. I want to mention and touch on the pronouns. Yesterday we were learning about the verbs. The day before we were learning about the nouns. Now today we shall be talking about the pronouns. And something important, of course, worth noting is that pronouns, of course, are words that are used in the place of a noun. You not really have to repeat the noun. You can just use the pronouns, and these would really just be used in place of a noun. For example, if we're talking about myself, I is normally interpreted as Mimi. I is normally interpreted as Mimi. You would simply just say, I thought I shared my screen. Okay, let me share. I would really just be interpreted as Mimi. Mimi, I would be interpreted as Mimi. For example, if you wanted to introduce yourself and you would just want to say, my name is my name is so and so. For example, my name is Spikes. You would actually say, Jina langu ni Spikes. Jina langu ni Spikes. Or you can also say, Mimi ninaitwa Spikes. Mimi, I am known as Spikes, or I'm called Spikes, or I'm known as Spikes. And if you're talking about you, the second person, you in Swahili is translated as wewe, W-E-W-E, wewe. Zem, if someone was to ask you, what is your name? Zem, wewe unaitwa nani? They're pointing to you and say, how about you? What is your name? How about you? How about you? What is your name? They would say, Zem, wewe unaitwa nani? Wewe simply means you. Wewe simply means you. And for me, like I said, Mimi simply means I, or it's I. And if you're thinking about us as a group, if you are a group and maybe we are visiting a park, and we want to introduce ourselves as a group, we would really just say sisi, which is S-I-S-I, sisi, which is us, sisi ni wageni kutoka Nairobi. That would be like us, or we. Us is the same as we. We are visitors from this and that other place. And if you're thinking about them, you would really say wale or how, W-A-L-E, wale or how. You would point to them, for example, a group of people at the park also, you'd point to them and say, those are, or they are friends, or they are visitors from this and that place. You say, wale ni wageni kutoka Mombasa. That means they are visitors from Mombasa. And you can also say, how ni wageni kutoka Mombasa, which is they are also friends from Mombasa. And if you're talking to someone and you're pointing to them, they are right next to you. This one, you're pointing to them and saying, this one is a friend. This is a friend from this and that. You say who you. If you point to someone seated or standing next to you, you actually say who you ni. Do not forget, that we learned about the use of NA and NI yesterday. The NA really means the NA is a connector for aunt, but the NI simply means is. The NI simply means is. For example, you would say who you need, that hates you, who you need, that would be this is. You're introducing a friend. This is. Huyu ni rafiki yangu. This will be this is my friend, because we already learned that rafiki simply translates into a friend. Rafiki simply translates into a friend. And you said huyu ni rafiki yangu, it means this is my friend. This is my friend. Up to that point, if you do have a question, kindly feel free to shoot. Kama uko na swali, if you have a question, kindly feel free to shoot. Just ask if you have a question. Swali is a question. Swali is a question. If you do have a question, kindly feel free to ask, and then I will respond to you as we get to learning a little bit more of the pronouns. He and she. Let me also talk about he and she. Swahili is not gender specific. I have repeated these a couple of times. Swahili is not gender specific. If you're talking about he, if you're talking about he, and if you're talking about her, it doesn't change. It remains to be yeye. Y-E-Y-E. Yeye. Yeye ni rafiki yangu. Yeye ni rafiki yangu. It means he is my friend or she is my friend. It doesn't, there is not gender specificity in Swahili. And also, if you're talking about that one, someone who is standing a little bit far from you, you're introducing them. But they are a little bit far from you, you're pointing to them. Maybe they are a little bit a place at the corner. You're in the classroom, you're introducing someone, and you're pointing to them. You'd actually say, yule ni dadake. Yule ni dadake Spikes. You'd actually say yule, pointing to them, and then say yule simply means him or her, at the corner there. Yule ni dadake. Dadake means the sister too. Dadake or dada yake. Yule ni dadake Spikes. That would be mean that he's a Spike's sister or something like that. And are you thinking about that one who is not in the vicinity? Someone who's not in the vicinity, and are you talking about someone maybe you came across on the road and maybe they were going somewhere? Then you'd actually say that one is translated into huyo. And now, of course, when talking about us, we also say sisi. Sisi ni wageni kutoka Nairobi. But if you're talking about someone who is a little bit far, of course, you can say huyo. Someone is not even around, but they're also in the third person singular. Once again, let me also invite us to our Tanzania trip, our Tanzania tour from April 12th. For 2 weeks, we shall be in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, and Zanzibar. And you might also, of course, get involved, with this particular trip as well, as you go to discover the spirit of the African Renaissance in Tanzania. It's really a delight, and I'm hoping that we can be able to connect in Tanzania as a Blackout fan, talk with all of us. I'm inviting all of us in case you would like to join us. It will be really a delight. I don't know if our kiddies are coming back tonight. He said he's not feeling well. He did have some problems with the food he ordered, and I'm not sure whether he will be coming later on tonight. Hopefully he might, but I'm not sure. Kid, if you're still with us, kindly do let us know. We shall be coming on later tonight on the show. And Shepo, the brother Shepo, is asking, like I said, Shepo, I would also like to invite you on the 54 corresponding show any day of the week, on Tuesday and Thursday. On Tuesday and Thursday, the show airs at 2 p.m. Show airs at not 2 p.m. Show airs at 12 p.m. South African time. I do not know whether you are in South Africa or whether you are in the States, but in case you are in South Africa, you all much welcome to join me on the 54 corresponding show, either on Tuesday or on Thursday. I would just like to get you, just pick your mind on some of the matters in South Africa and also other parts of the African continent. And also, Bombi Dafa, you are also invited. You can also join us, and anyone else that would like to join us on those other different episodes. And also the Africa Today show. It airs every day of the week, Monday to Friday. And of course, that is at 6 p.m. South African time, 7 p.m. Nairobi time, and the East African time, and also I believe 11 11 a.m. 11 a.m. in Eastern time. Sorry, in Eastern time. You can also be able to check us out on those particular shows. We are winding up, and of course, if you do have a question, regarding the nouns, the pronouns, the verbs, anything to do with some of the things that we touched on today, I just want to give you the opportunity to be able to ask those questions, and I would be glad to respond even as we wind up the class for today. Does anyone have a question? Je, kuna aliye na swali? Kuna mtu ambaye ako na swali? If anyone does have a question, kindly feel free to ask, and you can also also let us know how your experience with Swahili is going on so far. We'll love to know, is it tough on your end, and if it's tough, then we can still be able to see how we can help much easier, to make it much easier for you to learn Swahili. And like you said, there are different avenues also on YouTube, so many Swahili videos. Okay, you're in South Africa. Okay, that's a good thing. I would just like to pick your mind on some of the things that are happening in South Africa on the 54 Corresponding Show. When we do get to the time to do so, maybe perhaps on Tuesday or on Thursday from 12 p.m. South African time. If you are able to join us, that would be really, really delightful. And of course, we are winding up our class for today. It seems like no one has a question. But in case you do have a question, simply write me an email, blackhotfireafrica@gmail.com. Blackhotfireafrica, blackhotfireafrica@gmail.com. And I want to thank everyone that has come through. I also want to thank everyone that has come through. I just want to thank everyone that has come through or to the class for today. I really, really do also get to appreciate you. And of course, help us share these particular videos. Kindly do help us share these particular videos. It would be really, really nice to do so that we can be able to, to learn. Ricardo Bradford, I see your long text, but you can also get to engage with us. I see it's a long message. You can also get to engage with us, like I said. Also on the network, and see the structure or the proposal that you do have right there on that particular text that you just put in. I think that is on our Facebook. Once again, much peace and love. Thank you so much. I'm not sweating. I'm not sweating. I am not sweating. I think I'm not sweating. It's probably, I think, no, I'm not sweating. I'm not sweating. Anyway, Zeno Mosquito, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Nish Pena says, hopefully he's doing better. Yes, I hope that he's doing okay. He might not be able to get back later on the show, but nonetheless, he's still good. Zeno Mosquito is always messing with it. Also, family, if you would like to support the network, simply feel free to do so. Click on that particular support button, donate button on the website, or you can also cash up Mr. Blackhotfire. For all that have continued to support the network, your support is not in vain. We value and appreciate your support. And with your support, we can be able to do much more right here on the African continent and also globally as the Black people and also with the Blackhotfire network. Sister Nishpenda, we love and appreciate you. Bombi Dampa, we love and appreciate you. Also, Ricardo, I think I saw Ricardo earlier on, and the brother Shepo Semono. We appreciate you, as well as Akid, for giving us this platform. And everyone else that was with us on this particular broadcast, I do get to appreciate you. And I wish you a happy and a productive week ahead. You can claim it. And of course, what you put to that, where your energy goes, where your focus goes, there your energy flows. If you focus on good things this particular week, I believe you stand a chance of getting positive outcomes. If you focus on the negativity and everything else going wrong around you, and then at the end of the day, you shall leave, negative outcomes. And therefore, you just have, choose, make up your mind, and, spend your energy on the positive things. And that is, of course, will lead you to getting some positive outcomes for your week. Bombi Damfa, have a good week ahead. General Mosquito, have an interesting week ahead. Sister Nishpenda, the same to you, as well as the brother Shepo from South Africa, and also everyone else that did join us today. Till next time, much peace and love. I want to say kwaheri. TC Brooke, I see you. Thank you so much for also taking the time. I want to wish you a happy and a productive week ahead. I wish you success in all your endeavors this particular week. And I remember to join us on the Africa Today show from tomorrow, and also on the 54 corresponding show, the Coming African Diary show, the Breaking the Matrix. And I also want to thank you so much for your support. And of course, what's in that? It's poison. Yes, it's poison. Anyhow, have a great one, and of course, enjoy yourselves.